How y'all doing? Welcome back to another motorcycle video. In today's episode, we are back with the 2011 Kawasaki Ninja 250. In the last episode, we heard the bike run on choke, and it would ring out, but it was kind of fluttery and sometimes it would die. I determined that the carbs needed to be taken out, so we went ahead and removed the fuel tank and the fairings. The battery wasn't charging, so I have that charging over there. The fuel tank had old gas in it, so I drained that off of camera. We got the fairings off, the carbs are ready to come out, and that's what we're going to be doing today, is taking out the carbs, getting them cleaned up and thrown back in, getting the gas tank put back on, and see if we can get some life back out of this bike. These are some of the tools we're going to be using. Let's get started. We'll start by taking out the battery box. We have 2 bolts here and 2 bolts down in the center. We also have this fuse or a relay. We're going to pull that and scooch that up out of the way. Should pop right out. Set that over on the bench with the rest of our parts. We'll remove these 3 bolts for the air box cover so we can get a little bit more wiggle room when we take that off. Put this over on the table with the parts. The bolts for the battery box and the air box are JIS. The bolts that we're going to be taking out, these here, and these here, are all 10mm. There is a bolt over here that needs to come out that is a 5mm hex head. To begin, we'll start by taking out this fuse. Put these parts over on our table here. There we go. We can slide this back a little bit. Now we're going to loosen the intake boot clamps. There's 2 of them, and then we're going to loosen the air box clamps. The air box clamps use a 3mm hex head, and the intake manifolds or the intake boots are a JIS. We're also going to be removing these hoses here. Got this one here, and then there is another one down here to help free up that air box. Okay, everything's loosened up. We'll go ahead and do it on the other side. I believe there is another bolt tucked down in here that's that 5mm hex head. Take that out and see if we can get a little bit more movement. Oh yeah, she's moving now. Before the right side was just free. Now the left side's moving back some too. Yeah, there we go. All right. Now that we've got some movement out of our air box and our carbs, let's get these throttle cables loosened up and taken off. We also have a choke cable to loosen up and taken off. Sorry I'm not getting a better angle here, but can only do so much. Add a little lubrication here, get it. Okay, we had to loosen up the coolant reservoir to get in here, but there, we finally got the back one off. Get these straightened out here. And there we go. The push-pull system here for the throttle cable. We also have the choke cable back in here that we have to take off. Okay, choke cable is disconnected. And then there is a vent tube that needs to be pulled on the front side of the car, or on the back side of the car here, in order for those carbs to rock out. Right up in here is a little hose that goes up to a T, and that actually goes to our gas line right up here. Comes down into here, T's, and goes right down into our carburetor right there. So that's what we're going to be taking out now. There we go. Came right off, right back on that nipple there. Alright, let's see if we can't get these carbs rocked out. There we go. They popped free. Let's go ahead and see if we can't pop this manifold off and get a little bit more wiggle room up through that side. She's still leaking quite a bit of gas though. Those carbs must have been awfully full. Look at all that. I'm going to try to clean up as we go. Because we took out that manifold, that's going to give us a lot more clearance. Look at that, they're just going to come right out. Alrighty, there we go. Let's get these cleaned up. Alrighty, let's get started. It was definitely full of fuel. Yeah, there's some green gunk down in there. We'll get that cleaned out. What the hell is that? See if our pin will pop out here. Oh yeah, slid out real nice and easy. Float looks good, sounds good, doesn't look like there's any fuel in it. Yeah, they definitely were running ethanol in here. You can tell because of the greenness in the bowl here, and then there's like some green gunk around here. Main jet looks clogged. See, look at all that green. That jet's clogged. The seat up in here looks pretty good. Look at all that fuel dumping out. Got to be coming from this carb now. That's all green in there as well, and that was definitely dumping out from this carb here. Let's see if we can get this off. Well, we actually got the jet coming out, not the whole. I think that's the emulsion tube. That jet's clogged. Okay. We'll get that emulsion tube out in a second. Let's go ahead and take the pin out. Came out nice and easy, just like the other one did. Needle looks good. Float is clear. Yeah. Just a whole bunch of green gunk in there. Alright, let's get this jet out of here. This starter jet, I believe. There we go. Took quite a bit, but yeah, that's got green gunk on it as well. Clogged as well. Alright. Let's see if we can get this emulsion tube out now. It didn't take a whole lot. That one actually don't look too bad, but you can see it's green there. It's clear down through the emulsion tube. But we've got some holes here that will clean out. Same way on the jets, we'll clean out everything here. We'll blow out all these passages, get everything all cleaned up, get the float bowls cleaned up. Alright. Alright, the jets were soaking for a while. Let's see if we can't get them clear. I got a piece of wire here. Maybe we can fiddle it down in through there and I think we made some progress there. Yep, look at that. That thing was so clogged I couldn't get nothing down in there. How about this other one here? Oh yeah, look at that. See that wire coming up through there? That's awesome. Alright. Just soak them in a little gum out. Can we get one of our tip cleaners through it? Not that one. No. How about this one? Alright, let's put this wire through it one more time and we'll call her good. We'll blow it out with that gum out. So this is a little Ninja 250. The pilot jet or the idle jet, you know, whatever it's called. That's going to be on the smaller side. So you'll want to get a piece out of like a wire wheel or something like that, because these pipe or these welding tip files don't work. Okay, I'll spray them off, and that'll be the end of it. Alrighty, they're all clear. So now we can go ahead and put all of our jets back in, get them all tightened up, get the floats back in, the needles. Now these are just brass jets, you don't need to torque on them too hard. Just snug them up good and then they're in place. Okay. Now let's we'll put our needles back on our floats, and with our pin and there we go. One's done. Not sure if you could see that. You just slide it right on the inside of that there. we go. Just slide the pin in like that. Alright, these are ready to have the bowls put back on. You'll notice there's a little curve here, and that'll go with that there. Goes on just like that. Oops, and the same there. That goes on just like that. We got our screws here. We'll just snug these up. Make sure to snug these up with your screwdriver. Don't just leave it to the drill or impact, whatever you're using. Okay, carbs are rebuilt. Working good. We'll get them put on the bike. Alright, time to reinstall the carbs. Probably going to do a time lapse here so that way it saves us a little bit of time. Alright, carbs are back in. Alright, let's go ahead and throw this gas tank on. Now don't forget about your little plastic pieces here. We're going to give them a little bit of room to wiggle in. There we go. And don't forget we've got wires to connect and hoses to connect. So that's what I'm doing over here, is connecting the fuel gauge wires. There we go. And now I'm going to connect the vent line just about done. All we've got left to do is put back in the air box and secure the tank. And now for the tank. Don't forget about that little curve here we talked about in the first video. Okay, tank is secured. We'll throw some fuel in it, throw a battery in it, and we'll see if this thing will pop off. Okay, we got a drip. Probably from a carb. Just from the overflow. Do the old tap on the carb trick. Okay, and we're going to prime the system here. So let's turn it to on for a little bit. That should be good. All right. Let's see if she'll start up. Put the choke on here. Put it to run. Turn the key on and okay. That might be the fuel pump working. Horn's working. Okay. Maybe the battery's just not charging. So let's throw a jumper pack on it and see what we can do. See if that helps out. It sounded like it kind of wanted to turn over at first. Okay. Still got full charge on the jump pack here. See if that helps. Look at that. It was running and idling. took the jump pack off, it's starting to flutter, so that battery might be just dead bad. Alright, he's idling. Choke's off. Looks like our fuel gauge is working. Yeah. That's only like 10 grand. Red line's 12. There we go. He revs all the way up. Dropped right back down to idle, right between 1 and 2 grand. Throttle's a little sticky. Alrighty y'all, that's it for this video. We got the carbs taken off, we got them cleaned out, put back in, got the tank back on, all the lines hooked back up, got everything put back but the plastics. We started the bike up, it ran on choke for a little bit. It's a carbureted bike, so it's going to take a little while to warm up. Turned off the choke and it dropped right to idle, right between 1 and 2,000. We revved it up, warmed it up a little bit, and we revved it out all the way to 12,000. Did just fine, no stammering. It does stammer a little bit in the lower RPMs, but you know, that's something that will probably clear up it over time. The next video, we are going to be putting the plastics back on this and taking this bike for a ride, so be sure to stay tuned for that. If you like this video, hit the like and subscribe button. I sure appreciate it, and it helps out the channel. Y'all have a good day.